I was a hard-boiled sleuth, ready to crack the case like some kind of egg. There was no time to think of metaphors, because I'd found the final clue I needed. Little did I know, when I started this investigation, that it would lead me down a path so sour, for it was none other than my own father who had stolen a piece of gum from my pocket. I'd made my way to the living room to confront him.
Howdy, my boy. Talking to yourself again, I see.
Shut your trap, you little goon. I know it was you who stole my gum, and I have hard evidence to prove it. I have the incriminating wrapper left strewn across your bedroom floor.
Guilty as charged. You got me, officer.
So you admit it. I'm taking you downtown, Buster.
Sorry, son. No can do. We've got a party to attend later.
What? What party?
The party at your girlfriend's place, of course.
I don't have a girlfriend.
Or son. There's no need to be coy. Your father was a real Casanova when he was a boy. The ladies would say, "Good day, Dad. I would greatly appreciate dating you if you would be so kind." And I would say, "No, I only love my wife to be you, she witch." Then they would cackle and fly off on their brooms. Isn't that right, dear?
Oh yes. You were a stud.
Goodness. You're all dressed up like a juicy strawberry. I better dress to impress if I'm gonna get a bite of that.
Whatever, Dad. I'm not going to some party. I'm just going to go upstairs and close the book on this case, and stop stealing my gum, for Pete's sake.
Tee-hee. No promises.
What a jerk. My dad really tips my cow sometimes. I need to clear my head and get back in my element. Deep breaths, and... much better. Time to find my next case.
There you are.
When did you get in here? And stop messing with my neo-noir groove.
I've literally been here for like 10 seconds. I knew you'd be late for our date, so I came to get you.
Aren't you that girl who I saved the past with?
You mean I saved the past? I literally did all the work. You acted like you didn't know me then too, but you know that never works.
Well, whatever, Bethany. It was worth a shot. Besides, I already told you I'm not your boyfriend.
That is like, actually so funny.
You must be who my dad was talking about. How did you invite my parents to a party and I didn't even know about it?
It was supposed to be a surprise. Your parents would tell you they were bringing you to a real crime scene but drive you to my house instead. But then I figured you'd be late because you're like, always late, so I'm going to have George kidnap you and bring you there instead.
George?
Yes, that guy there.
Oh, I think that's my cue. Sorry, homie. What in the... Where am I? What happened?
It's my house, duh. And this is my dad.
Oh my god, you're Mr. Burkins of Burkins & Co.
Correct. It is a pleasure to meet me, I am sure. Before we get this shindig, as it's called, going, in no more than 15 seconds will you explain to me why you believe that you are a good fit for my daughter?
Oh well, you see, I'm not. I'm very fickle. I always change my goals. I never settle on any ambitions and I have severe anger issues. I can never commit and I like being a free spirit with nobody to hold me down.
I like a man who is completely honest. Welcome to my abode then. You may move about this room freely until the other guests arrive.
I thought he'd never leave. He is so suffocating.
No fooling. Don't worry, little bromy. I know how you feel. I got all rizzed up in my best fit for a rap battle against my rival Medium T, when the boss called and said I had to attend this party. Shit is mad Dragsville. Yo, Medium T? That guy has some swell tunes. Sure.
Oh my god. Who cares about music or whatever when you've still gotta meet my mom? Let's go.
I don't suppose I could say no and be done with this, could I?
You're so full of jokes today. I can't even contain myself. Well, let's go.
This is your kitchen? This looks more like a full-on cafeteria.
It's just the main kitchen, where the hired help eat. My mom should be in the sub-kitchen through the doors behind the counter.
2 kitchens? That seems a bit excessive. Lead the way, I guess. This looks exactly like my kitchen.
Oh, hello. Who are you?
Oh my god, Mom. That's literally my boyfriend.
Oh my, then it's a pleasure to meet you, young man.
Oh, thank you.
I've got something special cooking for the evening. Normally we have a cook make dinner, but I wanted to make sure this was made with love. It's an old family recipe, fried pork dumplings.
It smells great. Maybe having dinner here won't be the worst thing in the world.
We are very happy to have you.
Mom, do you ever shut up? You're so embarrassing. No wonder Dad thinks you're annoying.
Sounds like more guests have arrived. You kids have fun. I'll meet up with you once dinner is ready.
Whatever.
Wowie zowie. Is this the place?
That's what the sweet girl our son is dating said. I didn't realize how rich her parents were.
I know. Perhaps we can take a dip in their coin vault.
Play your cards right and it'll be a skinny dip.
Sup bitches, welcome to Burkins Manor. I'm the man of the house's assistant for the evening. I can get you whatever you need tonight, but I'll also be turning mad phrases from my 4th EP for dinner entertainment.
Howdy partner, you can call me Dad, or Professor Father if you please. And this stunning fox is my wife.
You can call me, Mega Mom.
Sounds swagger to me. Let's go inside and meet the big man.
Holy cow, what a mansion. Good evening. I am Mr. Burkins, and I have been kind enough to allow you over for dinner. May I call you Burk? No. So it is my understanding that your son is dating my daughter. You will show me this evening why your family is worthy of attaching itself to mine. Can do, brother. Good. Now tell me, where did your wife go after George allowed you inside? Beats me.
Boo, did I scare you?
Ah, there you are. No, it is physically impossible to frighten me. Ha ha. She really got you good, and I helped misdirect you by pretending not to know where she is.
You did a wonderful job, honey.
Thank you, Sugar Cube. You're the best. Why don't I just take you to your son before I become violently ill?
The dark, quiet study slept under a thick blanket of dust. It was the perfect place to relax my mind and collect my thoughts in this dreary estate, this dark symbol of man's hubris.
Did you just call my house dreary? That's so uncalled for. We came in here so I could get some peace and read a novel or two before dinner.
It was a likely story, but the odds of her finishing a whole book within 10 minutes were preposterously low. What was her true motivation?
I can read at around 800 words per minute. It's child's play. And I can hear everything you're saying, you freaking ignoramus.
Oh come on, at least humor my poetic inner monologue.
Ah, there you two are. I believe these two belong to you, young man. Howdy doody son.
Hey there, hun.
Hi mum, and hi dad.
Just so you know, I will be judging you severely based off of both your parents' actions. Enjoy the evening.
It's so nice to finally meet your parents, young lady. Your father's a real good sport.
Whatever. He is so embarrassing. I bet he showed you his shark pit too.
He did. It was so whimsical.
I almost got nibbled like kibble. Ha 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 ha.
That's so fascinating. So much for reading in peace.
Wow, the boss's home is quite lavish, and somehow a lot tackier than what I'd expect of him.
Ah, there you are. Bro sauce. 3.76 seconds late as expected. The boss said so. He asked me to deliver you something.
A gift? For me?
The delivery was pain in the membrane.
I should have suspected that.
Come inside and meet the other guests. My dude, this party is sure to be hot like butter. You feel me?
I guess. Lead the way then.
Good to see you made it, Charles. Now kneel before my power.
Sorry boss, I have bad knees. Kneeling just isn't in the cards.
That is unacceptable. We will make sure to give you knee surgery for extra support next week. Of course, it will come out of your Christmas bonus. Now that you're here, we can begin with dinner. The other guests are in the eatery. George will lead the way.
Yes, sir.
Well, here we are.
This This dining room looks exactly like the one at Camp Killing Dead.
Right, where all those campers were killed dead. The boss had this room renovated to resemble it so that you may defeat the trauma you suffered there through exposure therapy.
Why do that at this party while we eat?
Anyway, here are the other guests.
Oh my god, it's them. They're alive. Excuse me, sir, I didn't expect to see you here. I'm so glad that you survived the murders at Camp Killing Dead too.
Oh shucks, it was nothing. I showed that monster not to mess with a genuine father. Right, honey?
Oh yes. He gave it a real wallop, and then he killed it.
That's swell, and boy is it a load off my mind. Did your son survive too?
Of course. He's right over there.
My memory of that night is pretty hazy. I didn't even recognize him. Well anyway, I hope you folks have a good night as well.
Thank you.
Right back at ya, slugger. Do you know who that guy is? Greetings guests. It is time to dine. My wife has prepared an acceptable meal for all of you.
Oh Richard, that's the nicest thing you've ever said about my cooking.
Get on with it. This hunger I'm feeling is so annoying.
Patience, Bethany. Patience. As head of the household, it is my duty and my right to have the first bite. I will now do the honors.
Well, is it any good?
Something is off about the taste. It tastes like...
Oh my god, Richard.
Holy free holy. Check his pulse, honey.
Let's see. He's dead.
Yup, he's dead alright. No matter how many times I kicked him, he won't retaliate and slay me. This is some bullshit.
Oh no. Oh god no. This is just terrible.
I can't believe this. I have so many conflicting feelings. I need to sit down.
Wow, a real life murder. This is just what I've been waiting for.
You are so insensitive. That's my biological father dead on the floor, you jerk.
Right, sorry, but this is the perfect chance to put my skills to the test. Everybody stay where you are. You're all suspects.
Wouldn't you be a suspect too?
Don't be stupid. I'm the detective. Okay, listen up. As detective, it is my job to gather clues. While I scour each and every inch of the mansion for leads, Green Guy and George will wait in the ballroom, Mum and Dad will wait in the library, and Bethany and Mrs. Burkins will wait in the hall near the kitchen.
I'm coming with you while you investigate. I'm not waiting around for you.
Don't be ridiculous. You could be the culprit.
You're obviously wrong. I don't even have a motive.
Don't think you'll wriggle your way out of this one. You clearly had a strained relationship with your father. You were annoyed every time he spoke to you.
Aren't you annoyed every time your dad speaks to you too?
I guess you have a point, but I'm keeping my eye on you.
I know, you can't keep your eyes off of me.
Ah, young love. I remember the good old days.
Haha, no funny business while you're out investigating, okay?
I'm just going to get to it. The kitchen, where no doubt all sorts of trouble was cooked up. Was the pot on the stove simply a container for cooked meals, or perhaps the cauldron for a witch's brew?
Did you just call my mom a witch?
I observed the kitchen, and spied nothing out of the ordinary, but oftentimes what was sweet and unassuming on the outside, was truly sour and diabolical on the inside.
If you were looking for the poison cabinet, it's the one above the stove to the left of the spice cabinet.
A poison cabinet? Quite suspicious.
Not really. My dad hid poison stashes in every room in the house. He often took tiny sips to build up his immunity. He said nobody could truly defeat him with poison.
That's absurd, but it does narrow things down. If your father had poison hidden throughout the mansion, then it must have been someone who knew where the hidden stashes could be, like your mother, or, perhaps, you.
I was with you the entire time. When did I have time to poison the food?
Once again you make a good point. Maybe it isn't you after all.
Duh, you were so bad at this.
Well, that doesn't eliminate your mother. Send her in here.
Mom, get in here.
What is it?
Please, Miss Burkins, have a seat. So it's come to my attention that a certain cabinet above the stove is filled to the brim with poison. Quite convenient for anyone looking to poison Mr. Burkins' dinner, yes?
I already know what you're thinking. I swear, I would never poison my husband. He always said he was immune because he'd always take small doses every day.
You mean he really did that?
I told you.
Fine, I believe it. It's still ridiculous. Anyway, if you're saying you didn't murder him, then perhaps you used poison instead of spice by mistake.
I would never make that mistake. If I did, the whole family would be dead.
A likely story, but let's see what the security footage says about that.
We don't have security cameras.
What do you mean you don't have cameras? This is the home of a multi-billionaire.
Dad hated cameras. He always said they were easy to hack. And because he said he had full awareness of each square foot of the home at all times, making cameras obsolete and preposterously foolish.
Great. Well then all I have is circumstantial evidence.
I'm sorry, I should have mentioned this, but I did step away from the food for a moment to powder my nose.
You mom? That's like so gross. TMI.
No, I mean I literally had to powder my nose. The steam was smudging all my makeup.
A likely story, but if you are to be believed, then that gives other potential suspects the perfect window to sneak in and poison the food. You're not off the hook yet, Mrs. Burkins, but I'll certainly need to question the other suspects now.
Oh, this is so terrible, and all I wanted to do this evening was make a good impression.
I'm sorry it had to be this way. For now, I must ask, who else could have possibly had a motive for murdering Mr. Burkins?
I don't know about motive, but the only other person I know of who would know where any of the poison stashes are is George. My husband trusted him with everything, including randomly poisoning him throughout the day to keep him on his toes. I thought after Jorge none of my husband's assistants would ever cross him again. But what if it was George? Oh, this is just too much.
Bethany, bring me to this George right away.
Fine, and maybe I'll solve the mystery for you too while I'm at it, Your Highness.
I just don't believe it.
Me neither. The boss is literally invincible, bro. He can never be killed by normal human means. This poison business got me mad suspicious. You dig?
I think so.
The only thing I can think of is demonically cursed poison. You can't get it anywhere but the farmer's market in the summer. Or from hell.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you'd need to make a deal with a demon to have him use some of his own.
That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, and I know you'd never do something so whack. So I know you're not the culprit.
Yeah, no, never.
Stay right where you are, you little goons. Nudgy dog, I ain't one to goon. I got bitches in the bag like groceries. Oh, for Pete's sake, just stay there is all I'm saying. It's time for your interrogation, and no funny business. Got that? Got it like a fat stack on yo mama's rack. The lackey in front of me was harder to read than my first fan fiction. Was his stoic facade hiding a deeply angry man underneath? Yes, a man as cold as this was sure to be hiding dark secrets within.
Don't be ridiculous. Nobody who works for my father could hold secrets. He could read each and every one of their puny minds.
Don't ruin my groove, please. So tell me, George, if that is your real name, by chance did you have knowledge of anything hidden in this mansion, like poison? First of all, while George is my legal name, my real title is Little G, lyrical miracle and hoe connoisseur. But if you must know, there's poison hidden up there in the chandelier. Why up there? So no one can get it without a ladder. Okay, well, that's besides the point. Something's been niggling me about you ever since the murder. Yo, you can't say that, bro. Not chill. Look, I'm just trying to make a point here. Don't interrupt me. So anyway, I distinctly recall you mentioning how Mr. Burkins made you miss an important rap battle this evening. That must have really burnt you up. Yeah, I was gonna slay my rival Medium T in a battle of pros, and then probably slay him literally if things got heated. Whoa there, is the rap game always so ferocious? You know it, little man. The power of a man's proverbs can make the difference between life and death. Allow me to demonstrate.
No, George, come on. Be serious. This is a murder investigation.
Don't ever suggest your boy ain't serious about his rhymes ever again.
Okay, just save it for later, okay?
Whatever. The point is, Mr. G, that you had ample access to the diabolical poison. Perhaps you grew tired of working under Mr. Burkins. Perhaps you realized that the only way out was death. I poisoned the boss every day for years of his life. He asked me to. The dosage got to be so high that he would down entire bottles of poison every single day. Mr. Burkins was a beast with it. No human poison could kill him.
That's why only demonic poison could poison him.
What do you know about demonic poison?
It was him. I knew it. That entire outfit is a red flag. It just screams violent sociopath.
What? No,
Talk, damn you. You did it, didn't you? How did you do it?
No, I would never hurt anybody.
You will give me answers, you criminal scumbag. Where did you get demonic poison?
I didn't even know about that kind of poison until a few moments ago. Tell them, George.
A likely story.
That's right, show him what for. Show him you're a real man.
Actually, it's true. He didn't.
Tear his heart out. Make him wish for his inevitable demise.
Please have mercy.
When you're done, little man, I just want to go on record to say that I told him what demonic poison was, just before you got here, so you can stop slapping him for now. Whoops, I got kinda carried away playing bad cop there. Sorry about that.
That really hurt, man.
Yeah, my bad. But all things aside, I suppose that if you truly didn't know about the poison beforehand, then that gives you more of an alibi than the rest of the suspects.
Shouldn't that eliminate me entirely?
Something about you just doesn't sit right with me. Call it a detective's intuition, but you come across quite suspicious.
Yeah, his vibes are all out of whack.
No comment. I think that's about all the information I can get out of you two for now. Stay here for the time being while I interview the final suspects. And no funny business, you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Alright, let's head off to the library, Bethany.
Fine, but I'm getting bored with this. You'd better solve this soon.
I'm doing my best. Let's just go.
Gosh, this murder mystery sure is exciting.
I'm shaking in my boots. What if they think I did it?
Oh hon, don't worry. I'm sure if you ever committed murder that the person would deserve it. I'd even help you hide the body.
That's a relief. I'll remember that if I ever do kill someone.
I stepped into the oppressive shade of the library, the suspects whispering suspiciously in the corner. Were they co-conspirators? Or was one threatening the other?
Oh boy, I love when you bust out the detective lingo.
If you interrupt my monologue, I'll bust your head instead.
Ho ho, I'll let you do your thing.
I dreaded the interview, and the devilish secrets it may bring to light. The very thought of having been birthed by a cold-blooded murderer, and that the urge to kill could run through my veins, sent chills tingling up my spine to the base of my neck. But I could not avoid the path to the truth, no matter how terrible. Mum, you stay there with Bethany until it's time for your interview.
When I agreed to assist you in the investigation, I didn't think that implied being a babysitter. Besides, it's obvious that neither of them did it.
It's okay. It'll give us time to bond while they talk. I really wish I was getting interviewed first though.
I'm sorry, Mum, but the fact of the matter is, I'm having a hard time thinking of why you would do it.
But I could have done it, right?
Come on, Mum, don't make me question you now.
But what if I did do it?
Well, did you do it?
Who knows?
We'll continue with this later. Okay, Dad, it's time.
Oh goody gumdrops. I get to see my son in action. I'm so proud.
Dad, you're really killing my vibe here. Please allow me to live in my noir fantasy for just a few more minutes, before the color bleeds back in.
Aye aye, Captain.
That's detective to you. So anyway, this night was a big deal for all of us, correct?
Bigger than King Kong, and twice as hairy.
One single mistake could ruin my chances with Bethany, as Mr. Burkins made clear. Not that I'm dating her or anything, but he said quite clearly that he would judge me harshly based on your actions.
That's right. And I made sure to be a good boy for the old chap.
But no doubt you were afraid. One wrong move and it would all be over. Perfect motivation for you to off him.
But then how would I have done it? Wasn't I here the entire time with you, your girlfriend, and my beautiful bodacious woman?
I guess you do have an alibi, huh?
Hence why I said it was obvious they didn't do it. Any decent deductive mind would realize that before even stepping into this room.
Damn it. Stop downplaying my detection skills.
Is it my turn to be interrogated now?
Sorry, Mum, you've got a decent alibi.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, yes, of course you do. You were in here the whole time.
But what about before we were led to this room?
But you were led here by Mr. Burkins. Are you trying to tell me you somehow slipped away from him to poison the food and then back, without him noticing?
Who can say?
Like, that doesn't make any sense. Weren't you there, Dad? Did you see her slip away?
I can't recall. I was busy telling Mr. Burkins all about my toy soldier collection, and he said, "So you are a man of war? The willingness to die for a cause is exactly what I look for in my best employees." And then he told me all about the men he's killed in battle.
I've had enough of this. Bethany, please gather all the suspects for me and bring them to the scene of the crime. It's time to deduce who the true killer is by re-examining everyone's testimonies.
Fine. But I'm starting to doubt that you can pull it off. All we have are shaky testimonies and no actual evidence.
Just trust me. I'm an expert. Experts don't need things like definitive proof or reliable testimony. All I need is my detective's intuition, and my intuition is telling me that I must have all the info I need.
That would never be accepted in a court of law. You're being so ridiculous.
I guess we'll see then. Let's go. As I prepared myself for the ultimate test of my abilities, I found myself wavering. What if my deductions were all wrong? What if I wasn't up to the task? Taking a hefty swig from my hip flask, I steeled myself against the iron stares of the suspects.
Now, honey, you're not old enough to drink.
Actually, it's just my apple juice. But also, you don't need to baby me.
But you'll always be our little man.
Regardless, it's time I call the culprit out. Let's review the evidence, shall we? First off, Miss Burkins.
Oh goodness.
As the one who cooked the food, and the one who had the easiest access to poison, you are sadly one of the prime suspects.
This is just terrible.
However, since we've established that the poison must be significantly stronger than what's stored in the kitchen, that may incriminate someone else. Your daughter Bethany also has an alibi, as she was with me the entire time, so we can most likely rule out that the murderer had a familial connection to Mr. Burkins.
That's such a relief.
Obviously neither of us did it. Why are you even going over this?
It's all part of the process. Let the master work, okay?
If you say so, Humphrey Bogart.
He's one of the greatest fictional detectives, so I take that as a compliment. Ahem. Anyway, on to Mr. Charles.
It wasn't me.
Maybe not, but that's just what a murderer would say.
That's not fair. I didn't know what kind of poison could kill my boss.
Don't you get smart with me, Buster Brown. You may be off the hook, but you're still at least 10% suspicious. And you, Dad.
Who? Little old me.
You have at least a tangible motive for killing Mr. Burkins, but I still haven't established if you knew what kind of poison would kill the man.
Oh, my turn.
I still can't really think of any reason that you would do it.
But I could have. It's always the least likely suspect.
Why do you keep making me suspect you?
Think about it. I don't have an alibi, do I?
But what motive would you even have?
Who's to say?
I'm just going to move on. Now who does that leave me with? Let's see. So first off, it must be someone with a motive. Who haven't I eliminated with a motive? I got all rizzed up in my best fit for a rap battle against my rival Medium T, when the boss called and said I had to attend this party. It would have to be someone with the right knowledge. I just want to go on record to say that I told him what demonic poison was. Someone with no alibi. Yes, that's it. Nothing else makes sense. He fits the bill perfectly. I know who did it. It was
Yawn. That was an acceptable nap.
Oh my goodness.
Mr. Burkins just stood up. He's alive?
Of course. I am invincible after all. That poison was much stronger than what I am used to, so I slept off the damage.
This doesn't make any sense. Mum, you checked his pulse and he was dead, right?
Oh yes, he was alive and well. I thought this was one of those murder mystery parties.
I caught the last stretch of your deductions though, and I realized that you were about to accuse my assistant.
Oh hell nah, I ain't no killer unless you count killing it in the pit, yo.
Nobody slaps my little boy.
Nobody slaps my husband.
Impressive. No one has ever slapped George into unconsciousness before. I hope you will consider lending your strength to my company one day.
Thank you. I've been working out.
It's true. She can lift an entire fridge.
I'm like, glad you're alive and whatever. Who cares?
Thank you, Bethany. I was unconscious, but I am assuming that you did much to aid this poor boy in solving my fictional murder.
But it was still a real attempt, and it hasn't been solved yet. If it wasn't George, then who done it?
It is none of your concern. Now all guests please leave. I am still very tired.
Oh Richard, I'm so glad that you're alive.
I've told you many times that I can never be killed. Maybe now you'll believe me.
Ugh, get a room. I'm going to bed.
Quite a fun evening, right son?
Whatever. I'm done with this stupid detective crap. I'm going to bed.
Ah, our son is all grown up now, isn't he? I hope we get invited to his girlfriend's house again.
They grow up so fast, and Bethany is a lovely girl.
And you, my love, are a lovely woman.
Oh, come here you, I'm carrying you to bed.
Man, that was an intense evening. I was sure that I had something to do with the murder, but I guess that guy I met the other day wasn't the real demon after all.
Good evening, Charles.
It's you.
That's right, your good buddy Samuel. I come bearing good news about the plan.
So it was you after all. I don't want to hear any news about any plans. Could you have picked the worst time to poison the boss? I didn't think you were serious.
What do you mean? I haven't done anything yet.
Who could have? Never mind, that's not the point. I didn't think you meant it when you said you'd kill the boss.
Teehee. Don't be silly. No fool would make a deal with a demon as a joke. Wait, you don't mean to say you didn't believe me?
Well,
Ouch. I'd hate to be you right now. There's no take-backsies on selling your soul. I can assure you though, I will make it worth your while. See you later, alligator.